The door swings open, the lights flip on, and 20 people scream, "Surprise!" And something inside you doesn't light up. It shuts down. Your smile appears, but it's mechanical. Your heart is pounding, but not from joy, from overwhelm. You hug people. You say, "Oh my God." You perform gratitude while your brain is scrambling to catch up with a moment it never consented to. And later, when everyone says it was amazing, you wonder why you felt like you just survived something instead of celebrated something. And if that's ever been you, you've probably been told you're no fun, that you're uptight, that you should just learn to go with the flow. But psychology tells a very different story. You're not ungrateful. You're not difficult. You're someone whose brain processes surprise, stimulation, and social pressure in a way that most people never stop to understand. So, let's change that. Here's something most people don't realize about you. You don't just experience emotions, you prepare for them. Psychologists call this affective forecasting. It's the process your brain uses to anticipate how you'll feel in a future situation, and for some people, this step isn't optional, it's essential. Before you walk into a birthday dinner, your mind has already mapped the room. Who will be there? What the energy will feel like? How long you'll stay? You're not overthinking, you're emotionally rehearsing. Now imagine all of that preparation, getting ripped away in a single second. That's what a surprise party does. It bypasses your entire emotional runway. Researcher Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia found that people are remarkably poor at predicting their emotional reactions to unexpected events, and that the gap between expected and actual emotion creates genuine psychological discomfort. Not danger, discomfort, like an actor being shoved onto a stage without a script. And here's the thing, the people who plan the surprise, they rehearsed. They spent weeks imagining your face. They got their emotional preparation. You got a door swung open and a wall of sound. You're not cold. You're not unfeeling. You just need a moment to arrive in your own emotions before the world demands a reaction. Then there's a layer most people can't see, the sheer volume of what's hitting your nervous system all at once. Psychologist Elaine Aron's research on sensory processing sensitivity suggests that roughly 15 to 20% of people have nervous systems that process stimuli more deeply than average. Sounds are louder, lights are sharper, social cues are more intense, and none of this is a choice. Now picture a surprise party through that lens. You walk through a door expecting quiet, and you're met with shouting, laughter, music, faces, eye contact from every direction, and the immediate social expectation to look happy. For someone with high sensory sensitivity, that's not a celebration. That's every dial in the room turned to maximum at the same time. Compare that to how you'd actually prefer to celebrate. Maybe a small dinner, a long conversation, a walk with someone you love. Not because you're boring, but because your nervous system doesn't need volume to feel joy. It needs depth. Aron's work consistently shows that highly sensitive people don't feel less. They feel more, which is exactly why they need to control the pace of incoming experience. You're not fragile. You're not high maintenance. You're finely tuned. And a surprise party is the emotional equivalent of someone grabbing your hand and yanking you into a concert you didn't buy tickets for. But here's the twist. It's not just about the noise or the crowd. It's about the choice. That was taken from you. Self-determination theory, developed by psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, identifies autonomy as one of three core psychological needs. Not luxury, need. When you feel in control of your decisions, your environment, your social interactions, you thrive. When that control is removed, even with good intentions, something fundamental feels off. A surprise party, by design, removes your autonomy. Someone else decided when, where, how, and with whom you'd spend one of the most personal days of the year. And you're expected to be thankful for that. Think of it this way. Imagine someone rearranged your entire living room while you were out. New layout, new positions for everything. They did it with love. They thought you'd be delighted. But when you walk in, you don't feel delighted. You feel disoriented. That's not ingratitude. That's your brain recognizing that something in your personal space was altered without your consent. You're not controlling. You're not rigid. You value agency. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a say in how your own joy gets delivered. That's not a flaw in your personality. That's a sign of someone who knows themselves. And then comes the part nobody talks about: the performance. The moment the surprise hits, you are not just processing the event, you're instantly performing a reaction for an audience. Sociologist Arlie Hochschild's concept of emotional labor describes exactly this: the work of managing your outward emotional expression to meet social expectations, regardless of what you actually feel inside. At a surprise party, the performance starts before your real feelings even arrive. You have to look shocked, grateful, thrilled. You have to hug the right people in the right order. You have to laugh at the right volume. And you have to do all of this in real time while your nervous system is still catching up to what just happened. For people who value authenticity, who want their external reactions to match their internal experience, this is exhausting. It's like being handed a role in a play you never auditioned for, with no rehearsal, in front of everyone you know. And the quiet tragedy is this: if your reaction isn't big enough, people notice. Didn't they seem a little off? And now, you carry guilt on top of overwhelm. You're not ungrateful. You're not hard to please. You're someone who would rather feel something real in private than perform something expected in public. That's honesty, not hostility. There's actually a neurological reason this hits you differently than it hits the person who planned it. Psychologist Hans Eysenk's optimal arousal theory suggests that introverts and extroverts have different baseline levels of cortical arousal. Introverts tend to operate at a higher internal baseline, which means they need less external stimulation to reach their optimal zone. Extroverts sit lower, so they seek out more. A surprise party is designed by and for people who crave that spike. The noise, the energy, the crowd, it fills a cup that was running low. But if your cup is already full, that same spike doesn't fill you, it overflows you. This is why an extrovert can walk into a surprise and feel electric, while you walk into the same room and feel flooded. It's not a personality flaw, it's brain wiring. Your nervous system was already at a comfortable level of stimulation, and the surprise just pushed it past the threshold. You're not antisocial, you're not a killjoy. You're someone whose brain is already engaged, already processing, already alive, and it doesn't need a room full of shouting to prove it. Your quiet is not empty, it's full. So, the next time someone asks why you don't like surprises, you don't owe them a performance. You don't owe them a bigger reaction. You don't owe them an apology for how your brain works. Your need for preparation, for autonomy, for peace, that's not a limitation. That's self-awareness. And self-awareness is never something to apologize for. If this helped you understand yourself a little better, leave a like. If you want more videos exploring the psychology of people like us, subscribe. You're already enough, exactly as you are.